I never know if I should start talking when it says going live or if I should wait. Because if I wait, there might be like a pause. And pauses are never good. I don't want people to join this chat for like... Perfect. That's good to know. That means that it happened. So yeah, I'm going to start today off with some push-ups because I've been lazy the last few days because my back's been hurt. Let's see if I can do it. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're back, everybody. We did it. I don't know what we did. We just, turned it on. Vitaly, welcome. Bri, welcome. Jonas, welcome. Draw a unicorn. It's not Wednesday. It's not the community draw day. That being said, I do like drawing stuff. It is Tuesday. What is it? June 30th, 2020. Today is a free project day, and I feel like I have a billion projects I want to work on, and I don't know which one I want to do. So we can draw a tiny unicorn, but we're not. Tomorrow will be the viewer suggestion, and we can draw a whole bunch of stuff with Tolly. I'll draw a unicorn today, though. I don't see why not. But it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday. That's awesome. I hope it's your birthday. That sounds awesome. Oh, yeah, that might help. Let's draw a unicorn. Why not? Since my own projects are not inspiring me today, let's go ahead and draw a unicorn. I think that's a good... Whew, out of breath. Yeah, unicorns. Welcome, welcome. Doing all right. Dippy, welcome to the call. Goldtooth, welcome to the call. Okay, unicorns, huh? Nice. That's a great way. It's good timing. I'm a little late today because I was struggling about which project to work on. Whatever happened to the evil unicorn skull? Do we remember the Eldritch Horror unicorn we drew? I feel like that was a pretty cool idea, and I don't remember what it was. That's right, yeah, it got real weird. Oh, yesterday was a long D&D day, which was interesting. Got some more done on the live play video. I'm actually getting a lot more confident with that video, but I am still worried about the timing. I'm not sure if I want to release like a 30-minute version of it. Like 30-minute chunks, or if I want to actually finish the whole 3 hours and then release that. I think I need to cut it down a little more because as I've been rewatching it, it's like, you know what? I explained the ground too much. I'm just going to delete that part. So there's definitely a little bit more editing that can be done. But I could probably release a 30-minute kind of chunk of it today if people were really interested in that, or if they want me to wait, because I'm on the fence about it. I really am, and it might be something that that could be an interesting way to do it. We could put it up as a, what is that called, unlisted video, and then share it with the Patreons. I could probably put it in the Patreon chat and Discord too. Yeah, we could try that. I have a stat for a corrupted unicorn that went to the lower planes. That's pretty dope. I like that. One of my players. Oh yeah, Robot Unicorn is great. I was, for a short time between my friends, the best at Robot Unicorn. By a staggering degree, and then one of my other friends is like, well, I've got 15 billion points and I'm still going, and we're like, what? That's impossible. And we discovered that his computer was so bad and it was lagging so badly that he had like infinite time to correct the unicorn, and we were like, that's cheating what you're doing right now. But I never could catch up to him, so I gave up. I need to look up how horses go. Because my brain horse, not great. I'm a big fan of the Last Unicorn's art style. I think it's pretty dope. Kind of that, like, super peaky, like really long angled. Oh yeah? It's easy to buy stuff if you don't have to pay rent. It's pretty nice. Draw a unicorn. I would totally want to see a Jonas-inspired unicorn. I think that would be pretty terrifying. It's going to be super ripped and have, like, bug parts. I like to draw. Wants to draw a deer person. We can do that, I guess, too. There you go. No, I think your art is awesome. I think you tend to draw insectoid, terrifying creatures. I think your insectoid creatures are awesome. So I want to see a unicorn with that in mind. Insects are pretty interesting to draw. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kind of used to what you want to draw, and then you just go with it. Like as a project, you had to design a spider or like a logo or what? Just draw a spider straight up. Gotcha. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, you can if you want. That is not the point. The point is we're hanging out and drawing. Okay. This is not a competition. If you want to jump on the stream and draw stick figures, that's legit. Just, you know, keep them family friendly, at least for the most part. Nice. I gotta put your time where your passion is. If it's art, it's art. You did draw a dragon horse once. I'm not gonna lie. That's not an insult. It totally looked like a horse. And you're like, it's a dragon. I'm like, looks like a horse. I mean, let's turn this unicorn into a horse, right? I mean, like, let's turn it into a dragon. We're literally just gonna do this, and now it's a dragon. Like, that's all it takes. You shift the horns around and give it scales instead of. Do horses have hair or do they have fur? Horses have hair, right? So horses have first hair and then fur?
They have a mane and fur.
Mane and a fur. All right. Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's probably true. It's like somebody had to study English. I'm not great with the English language sometimes. My brain, not so good. That's also true. That is also true. The English language is kind of its own worst enemy. Sure. Yeah. The bronze dragon. I think frills. They're frills. Yeah, I would say if someone threw a bronze or brass dragon horn at you, then at some point in time there was a brass dragon with a horn, and I think that's legit for D&D. So, yep. I think I draw a very large combination of frills, which I think is what you're talking about for the picture. Has frills or fins. Yep, that's a frill, I think. Yeah, it counts as a frill. Dippy, do some research for us. Plastron. Ooh, that's a new word. It's not a word I know. Pretty sure it's a dorsal frill. I could be totally wrong. Hashtag Rook's probably wrong. But no, I once again, we've talked about this before. Dragons are, can really look like anything you want them to look like, because dragons are great. And I think they're varied enough that you can do that. Yeah. I need that rhino horn, yo. I don't know why I'm giving this unicorn armor, but we're doing it. Right. I still think... Yeah, and that's the problem when you're using other people's lore systems, is it's kind of up to their depiction of it. And so if you're a DM, did I just give this horse a comb over? That's not what I wanted. I gotta do that different. Here's what I would suggest for you for your own sanity, Gold Tooth. I would tweet at Chris Perkins and be like, "Can brass dragons have horns?" And then just see what he says. So I'm pretty sure I'm confident. I'll put it that way, that he'll tell you if it makes sense for your campaign. Absolutely. Oh yeah, if he says no, I will change my stance and be like, well, "There you go. Brass dragons don't have horns. Change your game." Frills. let me double check this, because I'm remembering the picture, but I'm yeah, those are definitely, I would call those frills. Yeah, frills have bones in them. Face, frills, lizard. Hold on 1 second. Copy image. Blah. Love that picture. Oh, crest, okay. Oh man, do cockatiel skulls go up like that? No. Yeah, but man, dragon ripping off part of its skull sounds just epic. Yeah, I think that's legit. I think either way, the crest, the frill, also would have horny protrusions. You got lots of spines on there. Yeah, I think any of those would work. I'm not too worried about it being like, oh, the horn's missing. But there's that's the armored unicorn I got for you. I hope that's okay. Yeah, sounds like you just gotta choose. Welcome, Melon. Welcome to the chat today. Yeah, it sounds like you got to figure it out. I mean, just either have to retcon it or just go with it. I think you should just go with it. I think a dragon horn is a dragon horn. Yeah. That fixed it. Right there. Right? Tiamat looks like everything. Unicorn! You know, I used to play a lot of Soraka back in the day. Yeah. Kind of miss it sometimes. I don't miss it enough to like reinstall League of Legends or play League of Legends chess or whatever the hell it's called. Yep. So. Yeah, I've done everything I think that I want to do in that game. It sure makes you a toxic person regardless of what. I feel like Smite was yeah. Ba-da-ba-da. I think that looks cool. I'm happy with this unicorn. I'm going to stop there. What kind of exercises and fundamentals do you practice when you do your drawing? MG Broccoli. Lots of circles, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to draw. I like to draw. I asked us to draw a deer person. We got the tips, so we're going to do that. And basically, deer person. Yeah, that's going to be fun, which was making me think of Soraka again. So I might do something like that. When I do practices, a lot of the time what I do is circles. A good way to do it is to draw 2 circles and then try to draw a circle in between them. And then draw another circle and then try to connect as many of those circles as you can. Because see, like right there, that's what I'm trying to correct. I'm trying to correct overdrawing or basically just trying to get better control and make perfect circles in the space that I'm allowed. And that just helps you understand precision. helps you get more comfortable with your curves, because you have to, like, when you start doing this, and you can see mine are still a little wobbly, you're probably going to do things that end up like this. This is not what you want. You very much want to try to make the circles circles, not ovals, and that's the challenge. That's the thing you're trying to get to, because if you can make consistent circles and then make circles of different shapes, that's going to be where your smooth lines start coming in and where things start looking really clean. So that's a good way to do it. You can just do a whole page of circles to try to warm up your hand. The other thing I like to do is lines. Lines are another good one to do. This is especially if you're doing digital art over pencil or pen art. If I'm doing something with inks, I will do this with the pen first and just try to get used to your pen weight. So I have, let's see if I can turn on my pen pressure. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. There we go. So you can start doing things like this. Sorry, Miller, I need to finish up this this little thing real quick. And then when you're doing lines, you can either A, try to fill in a line, so just try to make sure you're starting and stopping right at those points with different pressure. And it could even be that you start light and go hard, or the other way around. And you're trying not to do this. You're trying not to overshoot those lines. And so really what you're doing is you're just practicing precision and trying to get used to line weights and curves. So I do that, and I try to do lines that are the same distance apart from each other, because that's something I like in my art. And yeah, so those are the two practices I do a lot. I do a lot of lines and lots of circles. And then from there, I just do like figure drawings and different things like that. But that's more advanced type practices. So those are the two warm-ups I do a lot. Let's see if I can delete that layer. Yeah, no problem, broccoli. All right. I gotta look up deer now. Deer. Say it again. Ah. Thank you. I think Jonas's art is pretty consistent. I like it. I'm glad to draw with me every day. It's good stuff. Sure. Here's the there's a lot of things you're not taking into account for this this thought experiment. The experiment was, if you have basically electrodes attached to your brain, can you print a picture? No. Because right. Yeah. I think Dippy's got that right. The other thing to think about when you're talking about thinking of, like, even if I'm looking at a tree, which I'm looking at a tree out my window, I say, okay, I want to draw that. Most people cannot just one-to-one break that down, because what art is a lens. So me looking at that tree and going, to represent that tree, I have to do X. A lot of times one isn't conscious. And even when it is still translated through my thought process, my experience, and then it goes to my muscles, and I have to represent it that way. So there are a lot of steps between being able to follow muscle neurons and having something work out like a printer that would just translate what you see, because that's an option, from visual to visual. That's how printers work. You're using like an SLR camera has small, tiny sensors that say, oh, I see this color, and then you just represent that into a JPEG, and then that JPEG gets printed into dots on a printer, right? So there's a whole bunch of different things that have to translate down from copying to art, which is very much an interpretation of one thing to another. So, yeah. Okay, that's a little off topic, but that's a thing you could do, I suppose. So with drawing, and especially with things like this, reference, I always say people, it's totally great to use reference, because once again, reference is not copying. Having reference in that process of going, okay, I want to draw a deer person, cool. I still need, the more input I have into it, the more things my brain can be like, hey, it would be really cool. You should try this. You like that. I like that curve. We should add that. We should add that. It's just more input and more diversity into the concept. So I always suggest people use more references than not. Sure. It's very much more complicated than that. Yep. A lot of the mechanical limbs that are being connected to this may seem out of my wheelhouse, and so take it with a grain of salt. But most of them that I've seen that are being connected to brains are not directly accepting, like, oh, this is your finger muscle. What they're doing is they're putting a sensor array in your brain, and then you have to train yourself to send signals to different things, and that it maps that and then can do that. A lot of the early ones looked for pre-existing nerve clusters in parts of the arm. So like if you lost your arm at the elbow, it would look at your muscle, and you would have to basically train yourself to flex and twist your bicep in a certain way that it would register those nerve impulses, and then that would move the different parts of the arm. So it very much currently, to my understanding, is that you are basically learning how to use a game controller. But I hope that's I mean, I haven't looked at that in maybe 5 years, so they could have new stuff coming out. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is very much a process that is gotcha. It was basically you, yeah. You were asking if it was more like our idea or the other way, and so I tried to break down what my current understanding of them are. So. Sounds like a Twilight Zone episode. Yeah, I mean. Oh no. Boop. Boop. There we go. Yep, which basically just doesn't work like that. Is kind of, I think, the if you had a robot if you had a robot attached to your arm instead of like an actual hand, maybe. Yeah. So. Yep. Yeah. Once again, that was artificial intelligence. He gave those limbs artificial intelligence, which is not what we're doing with limbs. Listen to me now. Listen to me. Oh, that movie was actually, I don't know. I like that movie. Amazing Spider-Man was great, except where it was awful. So, super good, yeah. I feel like they have the same problem they have with Batman. They either cast Peter Parker or they cast Spider-Man, but they don't cast both. I think Tom Holland did a really good job trying to be both. Oh yeah, that was a great one. Batman has plot armor. What have I done to this neck? That's not how heads do. Except for the one reality where he did and became Iron Man. Yeah. Still is. Reed Richards. Reed Richards is a weird case, but yeah, I agree with that. Welcome to the chat. It's devolved into a Marvel argument, but but welcome to the chat again today. We are drawing, if you want to join us today. We're drawing deer people, apparently. I'm not sure. Well, I know exactly how that happened. I like to draw asses, too, and I don't have anything else going on today, so that's what we're doing. Did anybody... Maybe it was just the old Twilight Zone. I think it was one of the newer Twilight Zone episodes where the guy got a hair transplant, and then but it was the hair of a serial killer, and so he starts killing people. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. Actually, that Simpsons episode was based off the Twilight Zone episode, yeah. Treehouse of Horrors. Yeah. Well, if you've ever seen The Simpsons, it's mostly that. Yeah. Lots of short stories that were usually kind of scary or had a weird twist to them. Yeah. And a lot of them were kind of twisty just to be twisty. Or at least the ones that got, like, remembered the most, I feel like. Like, the one where the what I remember was that the sun was slowly getting too close to the Earth, or the Earth was falling towards the sun, and everyone was, like, freaking out and trying to figure out what was going on and what they were going to do about it. And then right at the end, they were like, just kidding, this lady's got a fever. But it was all a fever dream. Actually, the Earth is falling away from the sun, and we're all going to freeze to death. Bum, bum, bum. And it's like, that's okay, great, thank you. Thanks for that. That didn't need to happen, but okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically what the Twilight Zone was. It was like a lot of ironic twists for no reason, but some of them were actually pretty good thought experiments. Oh. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Most likely, I think we'll stick with D&D Beyond for the Patreon game. Sure. Yeah, I did with the Patreon's help. I was able to get the Dungeon Master Collection and the source books. So I think the next Patreon goal will get a few more of those. And yeah, so yeah, that'd be fine. If we when we do start that up, I will open up content sharing. I'll probably do that next week so we can start looking at what we want to do, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna run a campaign I want to run. I haven't fully written it yet. I have like the outline set up, and it's going to be serialized so that we can swap out characters if people can't make it certain weeks. I'm seeing it called a frilled lizard. Yeah, that's a frilled lizard. I don't know if brass dragons are supposed to be frilled lizards, but I think they are. Anyways, but yeah, so for the D&D game, I think that's something we can talk about today. I think that's a lot of fun. Jonas, I haven't been looking at what you're drawing. What you doing over here? I like that. That's cool. The horns, yeah. Just like, woof. Big old horns. No, I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, the D&D game will be fun. I think it should be like pretty simple to start. For what? Oh, you can put it down. I sent out a Patreon message that I don't know if people got. So I think in the Patreons only, let's go ahead and... You know what? I will make a new Patreon tab just for the game sign up. I think that's a better way to do it. I'll do that a little later, and I'll ping everyone in that. So I guess we can do that in the LFG. Probably next week. Yeah, we can do that. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to dedicate quite a bit of time to this, because we're probably only going to do it once a month. So I'm thinking either Tuesday or Wednesday, probably the 14th or the 15th, depending on availabilities. Yeah, and then I don't know what people's time frames are, but we'll probably start it a little earlier just so people can jump in. And we'll make characters and we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. Time frame wise will probably be I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Miller. What did you say? You're talking about dragons again? I thought blue dragons lived in water. There's nothing wrong with living in basements. I like basements. Ew. Right. Okay, let's get some cool antlers in here. D&D Beyond. All right. I don't know why I do that. Oh, I do know why I do that, because Sam Riegel's awesome. That's why that happened just then. The fuck? Yeah, I think kobolds can live anywhere. I'm not. Once again, there are like a billion types of kobolds. Yeah. Man, how do you design horns? I always struggle with horns. That movie about the mountains of sand on the planet of sand. I think it was called like Berm. I think the movie was called Berm. I'm funny. All right, anyways. Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think that would probably go like that. Yeah. He sounds pretty cool. Does your dad want to join the stream? That's the question. Does he want to come hang out with us? Okay, that's fair. Yep. All right. No, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we don't need to hear about racist stories about your dad. I think that's fine. Let's just stop. Let's just pause it. Go back to the deer people. Sure. I think these antlers made her look very angry. Maybe we should fix that. What is? Voice chat channel. Let me check this out. Oh, yeah. That's pretty dope. That looks like... That's a pretty good picture. Magma worm. You mean like the guys from Halo? Yeah. The hunters. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about those before. We've already talked about these. They're good. Yeah, no, I think it's a cool concept. I think it's a great concept. I think it's something you can definitely add to your game. Yep. They've added a few in the last little bit, which is good. Yeah, I know. I don't know what I've done to her face. Like, I think I started drawing the face when Jonas started talking about his dad, and I just kind of like, meh. I got my own. I tend to draw the faces that I have on my face. No, he sounds pretty cool, and except for the stuff that doesn't sound cool. So. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a real not fan of the Awaken spell, because specifically I think the Awaken spell was designed. I could be totally wrong. Please, Chris Perkins, if you're listening to this, tell me how the Awaken spell was supposed to be used. The Awaken spell really felt like a way of incorporating, like, oh, we found a raccoon whose family was killed by these ogres. We should help him be empowered to fight back. Like, help the animals fight back. And so I feel like that's what the Awaken spell was for. And that feels very druidy to me. But people use it as an excuse to, like, and now I'm Rocket Raccoon. And it's like, okay, sure. Right. But the thing with the Awaken spell is, like, I think if the druid dies, the Awaken spell fails. And I don't like that for means of spawning races of creatures. So it's definitely an option. Like, you could definitely do it that way. But that's one of the reasons I don't like it, because it I think on the spell you can also make it permanent. I'm not sure about that. I might be looking at an old version too. You can. Um, but yeah, so the awakening spell always feels like uh, the way the Warforged were made. Like wizards are like, I'm going to create life, and that feels the exact same as the awaken for druids. But I don't think druids would do that. So I prefer. I'm gonna say it that way. I prefer to when you're making a race for something. If you're doing just a one-off character, the awaken spell is fine. But if you're trying to make like a race of creatures, I don't think the awaken spell is a good way to do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, but if you want to play a shovel that someone awakened, great, do it. It doesn't say it. Okay. Yep, deep gnomes. Is it permanent? Okay. Yeah, that makes it feel very much like wizards, and it's like that's the exact opposite of what a druid would do. like would a druid really be like, hey, you know what would make squirrels better if they were people? It's like I don't think that's what squirrels would do. I think that's a bad idea. Exactly, and I think that was the intent. Like, hey, I need this animal to help the party temporarily, so I'm going to give you above intelligence so that you can aid us. I think that's what the intent was for. Yeah, but so yeah, so this is great. This is great. So someone asked to one of the RPG forums, why would you use this? It feels very unnatural, which is kind of my argument. And then someone said it's supposed to be specifically in Pathfinder as a gift you would bestow on a loyal animal companion, and I think that's legit. That's what I completely agree with. And then the next person down instantly says it's a plot device. Yeah, I like that. I like that too. Like you animate a tree. It's like you are the guardian of this tree. Like right, exactly. And so yeah, in Pathfinder it takes 24 hours. So, but that's the thing. So like I think it's definitely it's not a bad spell. It's definitely not a bad spell. But there are a lot of people I've talked to that just like, oh, I'm playing an awakened this. I'm playing an awakened that. It's like just play a bear. Like don't play an awakened bear. Just play a bear, and like have the fun of it. Because really, what you're doing is I want to play a human that looks like a bear. And it's like that's fine, but just yeah, like choose something that is going to be kind of weird and unique. Yeah, play a druid. That's great. Um, Couples of great swords are awesome. Yeah, so don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you play an awakened creature, that's legit. If you like the awakened spell, it's a good spell. Take it. It's great. Don't rely on it. That's all I'm saying. Don't rely on it to be your catch-all. Like, that's why my character can work, because awakened spell. It's like, okay, great. That's my only beef. I totally just weirded up this eyeball. Give me that. Whoop. Horns are hard. What? Why can't I find this? Oh, that looks so cool. Whee! I need deer antlers. Yeah. Well, I killed them all because I didn't think about the consequences of my actions. Yeah. Let's do this. Well, there you go. That's pretty funny. Why you should play a triad veg pygmy. I wonder if you could play a yellow musk creeper as a necromancer. I think you could. I think you definitely could, Dippy. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. I think there's a lot of really fun things you can do with those. Especially, what's the? I keep forgetting the Gorham, Goran, I think. The Goran. I made a video for them because I think they're worth looking at. They're basically just plants. Cool. I think that looks way better. Okay, I think I got this. I think I got this going now. That looks better. What's going on with these shoulders, Jonas? I dig this, whatever this is. Yeah, we're just. Go ahead. So how's YouTube doing? How's everybody doing over here? I'm having a good time drawing this stuff. What's everybody else doing today? Browsing the monsters. Oh yeah, did you get all the monster manuals? I only have the source books, so I'm not sure what. Literally everything. That's pretty awesome. Did you do a monster episode about genies, or is that already on your list? With the genies, there is. I haven't done one specifically for that, but like the Afrits is close, and then the Genasi. I did a really old video about the Genasi, so that's close. Might want to check that out. I think that's one of my older ones. Pathfinder kind of breaks them down differently than they do in D&D. So, yeah. Ooh, that is not something we're allowed to talk about on this channel. Alignment is not something that is worth discussing. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I think mind control, just like pretty much any necromantic stuff, is really it's dependent. I don't think it is one alignment or another. I think it can be generally used in a specific way. Like most necromancy is looked at as evil, but in older editions, most healing spells were necromancy. So. Yeah, anything that's dealing with forcibly changing the body, yeah, augmenting life, especially like resurrection spells. All resurrection spells are necromantic in nature. It's just a matter of how, about how what your intentions are, yeah. I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this when that happened. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure. I think I remember hearing about this, and we talked about it, and we were all decided that that was like super evil. I think what you did was pretty evil. Mind control in general is usually pretty evil, because you're enforcing your will over somebody else's will. It is how you. That doesn't matter. I mean, I think it is. It's all intention. It's all intention and purpose. Because I still think most paladins are evil. At least to somebody. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, especially if you're a, like what is it, the one paladin thing that everybody takes because it's super good at killing stuff. It's like, yeah, basically, it might be. I don't remember. I'll just look it up. But sure. You know, Bruce Willis. What's the movie? Die Hard is one of my favorite movies. Favorite action movies. He does not do good things in that movie. He's not a good person. Do you need a not good person? Maybe. Do they feel righteous? Probably. Still not a great person. And that's how I feel like most paladins are played. Because really, if they weren't played that way, like even Pike, like let's talk about Pike. I love Pike. Super good, wants to help everybody, and then just like revels in destruction and pain. Yeah. Yeah. And see, that was really good. That was really good of Matt to call them out on it. And I'm a big fan of that. Like that was the reason that alignments mattered for those classes, because you need to follow your deity if your deity is granting you the powers. And that was the thing. I think the difference between that and warlocks, because warlocks for the most part are being used. So whatever gave them their power is like, yeah, do whatever you want. Wink, wink. I'm totally going to use you for my own ends. And so that's, yeah, it depends on the deity. But that's why I'll argue that warlocks and paladins are very similar. Very similar. It's just a matter of how they are being utilized. Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of people play paladins evilly, and they're like, oh, it's for the light. It's like, it's not though. Like, you need to balance that stuff. That's why you have so much power, and that's my argument. An Oathbreaker paladin is really just a warlock. Conquest paladin. That's it. That's what I was trying to say. Most people play conquest paladins. They're evil characters. They're just evil characters with bad justifications. So, or feel justified. I'm sorry. Yep. Did I? What did I do here? Yep. So, no. Yeah, she was definitely chaotic. Yeah. Right, and so the argument I have for that, I mean, I agree with you. Like, a lot of people play paladins lawful stupid because paladins are purposefully overpowered in the book because they have the restriction of alignment. They are supposed to be you and the DM are supposed to be holding back your power. Like, you have to make decisions, and then when you find something that is righteous of a cause, you are able to just drop the hammer on it. Like, that's what a paladin is for. But a paladin should be saying, like, no, we can't do that. We need to stop this. Like, I'm not going to be a part of this. Like, that's part of the paladin, and I think a lot of people don't worry about it. And so that's why I think, like I said, Matt did a really good job of being like, Pike, your symbol is cracking. And Pike was like, oh, crap. I forgot I'm a paladin. and she did a really good job of reining that in. A cleric, I'm sorry. But it should be the same thing. Paladins really are just martial clerics. And it's the same thing. Right, yeah. So I think those kind of mechanics for the game, especially when you have like a deity that has a code, are very important, and people kind of forget about them. And it's not that everybody forgets about them, it's that people that want to play chaotic, stupid characters forget about them. And it's like, your character doesn't work like that. But okay, whatever, let's have fun. So. Yeah. We have a lot. Yep. What are the... Yeah, they have a couple of those. Yeah. That's... Gotcha. What if you were a paladin of an evil deity? Sorry, finish your story, and then I'm going to answer that question. I'm sorry. No, I was reading the YouTube chat out of habit. So, okay, you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Pray for the play for the glory of Tiamat. I think that's legit. So there is in Pathfinder the anti-paladin, and really what the anti-paladin says in the book is look at paladin. Everything that says positive energy, make it negative energy. Everything that says good, make it evil. That's it. That's the only difference. That's literally the only difference. So, I mean, kind of. Yeah, the Jedi and the Sith are a good example of that dichotomy of like really they have the same power set. They just have different methodologies or different what's the word I'm looking for? Outlooks? You said outlooks? I think that was the good word for it. Yeah. The anti-paladin, yeah. I don't know about 5e. So once again, with the anti-paladin, if you want to do that in 5e, pick an evil deity, switch all the words. That's it. You can do the exact same thing. Or be a warlock, yeah. Like, there's a reason that the Bane spell and the Bless spell are there. Like, cure wounds and inflict wounds are the same spell. It's just intent. Yeah. See, I think Warlock and Eldritch Knight are very similar, and I think they could thematically be switched. So it kind of depends on whether or not you want to be a martial, or you want to be kind of more occulty. Which one you want to choose? Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you go Warlock, you're really banking on having that spell power. If you go Eldritch Knight, I really think you are a follower of the sword that is studying arcane, and that's why thematically they are different. We just talked about that a little bit the other day. What was it? It was like a circle of pestilence or something for a druid. You could do that with an anti-paladin too. Because there's a lot of... I'm getting really into this picture, so sorry anybody that's not interested in dryad deer people. Yeah, so that sounds like a whole can of worms. Technically, every paladin and cleric is supposed to spend an hour a day during their rest doing that. It's part of their rest, but doing it with the DM every time, it gets taxing. People do. So what I would suggest if you want to do that, because that sounds like a good way to rein people in, is don't force them to do it every time, but like the way Matt did, have them notice, like, when they do something that you feel is wrong, have their deity tell them some way. Like, try the deity to correct them. Whether it's through a dream while they're communing, or through a prayer, or a vision. Let them know that, like, I don't think this is what you're supposed to be doing. Versus just like, okay, let's sit down and talk about this. I think you're being a dick. It's like, whoa, what? Pump the brakes here. So, yeah. Decay Druid, okay. I think it's a cool idea. I definitely think it's a cool idea, Goldtooth. I would just be really, really subtle and careful with it, because otherwise it can come off. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's a good idea to give them, definitely give them guidance in it, but be subtle about it and let it be part of the game, right? Instead of just like, hey, don't do that. Like, because at the end of the day, your DM, you are responsible for how that deity decides to take things. And it's like, well, I needed to kill all those poor people to make the blacksmith make me a sword so I can serve you. The deity's just like, nope. You have the right to just disagree with that and be like, no, I disagree and I'm the deity, so say goodbye to your level 5 spells for 24 hours. And it's like, huh, huh. Yeah. And that's up to you on how you do that. And if you do it in a way that is always just like, now you have to explain yourself, people aren't gonna play that and they're not gonna have fun. So writing that into the game, like if you want to play a paladin and then not follow any of the rules, you're gonna start losing your powers. Like make that part of the campaign. Like let that slowly build over time. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of, especially with Kevin the Necromancer. He's a super powered necromancer. But I have his deity constantly yelling at him for doing dumb stuff. Yeah, I mean, make it up to me. Prove to me that you're not going to keep doing this. And if you do keep doing it, your powers dwindle and you slowly become a fighter. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I'm worried about making, basically, if you have to justify your actions every time, they're gonna start just, if the character has to sit down and justify their answers or with their actions, something has gone wrong. And so them in character should be like, I don't think we should be doing this, but I can't see another way around this. I'm going to accept the consequences and deal with whatever happens. We have to rob this bank. We have to do it, or we're not going to be able to succeed. I'm going to have to figure out a way around this, and that's it. And that's the story, right? But if they're not doing that, they're just like, hell yeah, let's rob the bank. It's like, maybe a priest of Palor comes by and slaps you in the face out of nowhere, and you don't know why. And then she just walks away, and you're like, okay, maybe we don't need to rob the bank. Maybe I'm being lazy and deciding that it's okay to rob the bank. Is there a better way? And that's really the fun of the paladin, I think. Yeah. Yeah, what? Why would you think that? Is that a? Do you have an example of why you think that, Miller? Yeah, I thought druids were generally lawful neutral or chaotic neutral. Is that not the case? Is that the suggested? Yeah, you can follow. Yeah, druids are a good way to do that if you're focused on balance. Druids and monks, I think. Yeah. How do hands do? I would argue with that. I would argue super hard with that. I think most druids would be upset about burning down a forest. Yeah, I definitely think there are. So this is my argument with alignments. Once again, like there are the alignments are a suggestion for starting a character as you start it. There are definitely evil druids who decide we can use the plants to destroy everybody, or there are, I don't know, goblin druids in lots of books that probably not the nicest people really love their animal companions. So I don't think someone could definitely be either of those things. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. Uh, I just don't understand why we have to classify them into alignments. Yeah. Yep. Evil is perspective. When I played the polar bear, uh, since I wanted to be a polar bear monk, I went with a lawful neutral bear, but my law was basically the law of nature. So it was like when I saw someone hunting someone, it's like it's not my jam to interrupt that. Like that's their thing. And then I could consciously make decisions about it, but I based a lot of it on like, is this something that I should stop? Well, they're just doing their thing. I'm not gonna interrupt that. Like they need that to survive, which is why I felt justified feeding an old lady to a dragon. And my DM disagreed, and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess people don't like us now because we feed people to dragons, so we're technically evil. My character is totally legit. Right. A code. Yep. And that's why the alignments don't really matter, because what your character thinks, what your
Right
character
is right is a law.
Yeah. Yep. What was it about goblins? Someone was saying that goblins believe that everything, like possession, isn't a thing. So whenever they see like a tool that is being left around, it's like, oh, I'm going to use that because no one else is using it. I have a right to it. I love that idea. So goblins just stealing everything all the time seems evil, but really they're just that's it. It's like if a tool isn't being used, anyone can use it. And I really like that idea. And I like that idea with the fact that they have like billions and billions of children. And so it's just like everyone's constantly just like, I'm playing with this now. Dang it. It's not my turn. I will soon have a turn if you put it down. It's like, yep. And like, I get to use it now forever. Haha. Just a bunch of greedy little children. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of the best argument in my mind for why paladins are so strong, is because like you cannot not RP this character. You have chosen a character that is built to have to deal with consequences, and that's something that like a lot of people don't do. Like, I'm a barbarian, I smash what I want, I drink what I want. It's like, cool, go for it. Yeah, you've chosen specifically to take on a class that has an order or a class to it. Or that's not right. Really? Okay. Oh yeah, knocks the rust off. I forgot about that. That's such a good story. Yeah, that's super good. Yeah, that kind of storytelling is perfect. I wish I could reiterate that whole story. If you missed it in the YouTube chat, look up the Rust Knight. It's a good story. But yeah, so I think when you pick a paladin, you're picking a character that is basically saying, I want my story to be part of my class. Like, I have to find a way to make this viable. And that doesn't mean that you have to be like the key component of the campaign you're in, but it means that you are following something that is beyond just mechanics. Yeah, I think. Yep. Yeah, and I think they did a really good job of that because of basically because of Grog. Like, Grog didn't have any force, and so him picking Ford, which is a warlock, and then yeah, moving on with how he evolves his character. Hashtag spoilers. Sorry if whatever. Um, yeah, it's. I think that was a really good call for him, because then he has to think about consequences. He has to think about are my actions what I should be doing, and if they aren't what I should be doing, what's going to happen? And that, I think, is the good question. Not so much should I do this, yes or no. Should I do this? What's going to happen? And that's the question people don't ask enough. And that can very much fix your murder hobos if you make them ask that question. It's like, are you aware of what you're doing? Like, yeah, we're just gonna take over this tavern. It's like, okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. If you have a murder hobo paladin and people are okay with that, and you're fine DMing it, do it. It doesn't matter. Like, there are different kinds of games. Um, and once again, this is all I think that paladins should be played because of this cool thing. That's why I would pick them. If you're not into that, maybe be a warlock, maybe be a fighter, like, or be a paladin. Be a paladin that has no deity and does whatever the hell they want. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing you can do. I don't think that's fun. I don't get it. It's just an OP character that. But maybe you're into that. Maybe you just want to smash stuff. That's cool. Yes. I just now looked over at what Jonas was drawing. That's pretty great. I wasn't expecting all the circles. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Clappy, great job. If Clappy's in here, that's a cool picture. Wesley bro, really cool kobold. I like it. I'm looking at the art share here. Work in progress. We got little. I like to draw. I was drawing bears. I'm down for bears. Great job, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, I think, I have to reiterate this, and I say this all the time. Not all parties are meant for all players. And if you're really into that power gaming where you're a paladin of just death and destruction, and the rest of your party isn't, maybe it's the wrong party. It's just like find a different party to play that with. There are definitely campaigns out there where people can just, go to town, smash stuff. I think that's a lot of fun sometimes. Especially if you're doing like a really cool dungeon dive. It's just like, I am the most badass paladin that ever paladined. You want me. I follow what, Caden Killian? What's the D&D equivalent of battle guy?
I don't know.
Who's the deity of fighting? Fighting and drinking. Let's go with Cord, because Cord's the one I remember from Critical Role. Like, if you're... Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's just... Yeah, if all you're into is just fighting people, like, people might not like you. So, but there is definitely campaigns where that is legit. That's super legit. Argument. I'm a big fan of buff paladins and bluff clerics. Buff clerics. Did you say dragon tars? Is that a dragon centaur? Isn't that just a dragonkin? That's just a dragon then. I'm confused. Yeah. Yeah. Someone post the Humatar picture again. Yeah. I mean, that's technically what they are, I guess. Gotcha. It does make sense. You mean like Mornikainen or Decker Kane? It's definitely a good concept of finding an in-world character to write the lore books. I really like that. What did I say? Did I say Mordenkainen? I mean, it's his Tome of Foes, right? So, and then there's Volo. Yeah, Volo's got the most. I think that's another. I think it's definitely a good way to do it. I think they're on. It's like a lava salamander or something. Fire newt. All right. Yeah, how is he holding that sword?
That's for swimming.
I think I donked up this wrist. I think I donked it up real good. That hand should not be like that. That hand should be sideways. We're just gonna redo this hand. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it might be similar to a Gripply or a Grund. Amphibian. I think salamanders are amphibious, aren't they? Okay.
In our world, but then there's also the fantasy fire salamanders.
Yeah, the fire salamanders, that's true. Wait, so you're saying the salamanders aren't on fire most of the time? I've been lied to by every game I've ever played. Shut your mouth. Man, can't do hands. Oh no. Okay, we're having Santa horror stories now, so let's shift over to that. Oh, isn't that Krampus? I thought Krampus ate people. Pickle barrels. That's all I gotta say is pickle barrels. Oh, yeah, no. Well, sure. Yep. I think red suited fat happy Santa was Coke. And that, but Christianity wise was Saint Nicholas saving dead children. So, da da da. A little bit of a weird evolution there, but yeah, right. Da, da. And right before the copyright strikes hits us, I think we're gonna call it. It is noon. Man, that hand still looks weird. I'm gonna have to fiddle with that some more. It's okay. Oh man, the whole thing's crooked. Dang it. I shouldn't have flipped it. I shouldn't have flipped the page. Can I tweak this? I'll tweak with this in Photoshop a little later. Alrighty. I think that's it. I think that's it for today. We had some weird conversations, which I'm totally on board for. Yeah, that was fun. We had some people come and hang out. Had some other people come in and leave. In Pathfinder and Anti-Paladin, I don't know, 5e. Yeah, okay, so we're good with the YouTube chat today. Definitely going to keep talking about the D&D game. Hopefully we'll try to do that on the 14th or 15th, I believe. I will put up a ping in the Patreon group if you would like to play. Tell me something you'd like to play. Like, hey, you know what? Kind of want to play a warrior. Great. Throw that down in the Patreon LFG. Yeah, just know if you haven't seen the live stream episode where we did a little bit of a, I don't know if we're going to keep playing the campaign. I want to, but we might just switch over to this. Sure. More dragon-like. Anyway, sorry. Got distracted. Man, that hand is so messed up. Yeah, it's all stuff to be talked about later. So definitely take a look at that. Think about what you want to do for that for the Patreons. For the patrons? For the patrons. And then we'll keep it on. Tomorrow will be the viewer suggestion day, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I think I'm gonna try to release that the first like 30 minutes of the live stream today. I'll release that for the Patreons, and we'll see if I need to edit it more. The thing is, every time I've redrawn it 4 times now, this first 30 minutes, and it still feels really slow to me because it's just us talking, which is great. So I don't know if So yeah, I'll release that a little later now that I'm able to talk, and we'll decide how that goes. So you might be a video later today. Otherwise, for the Patreons, we'll talk about it and we'll see how it goes. But I feel like I could spend another month just cleaning up every single frame to this, and I don't think that's smart. So we'll see how it goes. We might just shift over to the other game, and I might try to release another item video tomorrow or the next day, and then we'll have more character videos next week. So it's something you can do, yeah. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. And as for everything else, be safe, be happy out there. Keep your dice on the table. Be good to each other. And we will see you tomorrow for the viewer submission. See everybody later.